My mother's voice still echoes in my mind. Him or us? Maya, choose. I was holding my 4-year-old daughter as snow whipped around us at -15 degrees, cast out into a Colorado blizzard because I refused to let a bleeding stranger die on our porch. What my parents didn't know was that the dangerous drifter I'd saved was worth $500 million, and their ultimatum was about to backfire in the most spectacular way possible. If you've ever been underestimated by the people who should support you most, smash that subscribe button right now. Hit the like button if you believe compassion should never be punished. And drop a comment telling me about a time you followed your heart, despite everyone telling you not to. This is a story about how saving a stranger's life cost me everything I thought I had, and gave me everything I never dared dream of. Let me take you back to where this all began. My name is Maya Rodriguez, and 6 months before that frozen night, I was a completely different person. I was a veterinary technician in Denver, living what I thought was a perfect life. Every morning, I'd wake up in our suburban home, kiss my husband Derek goodbye, and head to the animal clinic where I'd spend my days caring for injured pets. But perfection, as I learned, is often just an illusion waiting to shatter. The first crack appeared on a Tuesday evening in June. I came home, exhausted from a 12-hour shift dealing with emergency surgeries, looking forward to putting my feet up. Instead, I found Derek hunched over his laptop, frantically typing. When I asked what he was working on so late, he slammed it shut and said it was just work stuff. His voice had this edge I'd never heard before. Sharp, defensive, guilty. 2 weeks later, I discovered the truth in the most cliché way possible. Derek had left his phone on the kitchen counter while he showered. A message popped up. Can't wait to see you tonight, baby. Amanda. Not just any Amanda. Amanda from his marketing firm. My hands were shaking as I scrolled through their messages. A year of betrayal laid out in digital detail. Hotel reservations, romantic dinners, intimate conversations about their future together. But what destroyed me wasn't just the affair. It was the money. Our money. Derek had been systematically draining our joint accounts, moving thousands of dollars into a secret account. Money I'd earned working overtime shifts. Money we'd saved for our children's college funds. When I confronted him, he didn't even have the decency to look ashamed. He just shrugged. You should have seen this coming, Maya. You're too trusting, too soft. The world doesn't reward people like you. Those words hit me like a physical blow. Too soft, too trusting. The same criticisms I'd heard my entire life, now coming from the man who'd promised to love me. The divorce was swift and merciless. Within 3 months, I'd lost everything. Our house, our savings, my sense of security, all gone. I was left with 2 traumatized children and nowhere to go except back to the place I'd spent my entire adult life trying to escape. My parents' horse ranch in Colorado. The call to my mother was one of the hardest things I'd ever done. Mom, I need help, I said, the words sticking in my throat. Her response was immediate. You always were too soft, Maya. Come home. But don't expect us to coddle you. Returning to the Rodriguez family ranch felt like stepping backwards through time. The same rigid schedule, the same impossible standards, the same crushing weight of disapproval. The ranch sat 30 miles from the nearest town, surrounded by mountains that felt more like prison walls than natural beauty. My father, Roberto, was still the same imposing figure, 6 feet tall with a voice that could shake windows. He ran the ranch like a military operation. My mother, Carmen, was his perfect enforcer, a small woman whose sharp tongue kept everyone in line. Growing up, I'd always been the family disappointment. While other ranch kids learned to train horses, I was the one sneaking injured animals into the barn. My parents saw my compassion as a character flaw. "The world will chew up a soft heart like yours," my father would say. My mother called my tendency to help others my foolish phase. Now, at 31, I was back where I'd started, and their judgment felt heavier than ever. My 6-year-old daughter Sophia became quieter each day under my mother's constant criticism. My 4-year-old son Diego wilted under my father's lectures about proper behavior. The rules were suffocating. No running in the house. No loud voices. Meals at precisely 6 o'clock. My mother's favorite phrase became, "Your children need structure, Maya, something you've clearly failed to provide." Every day, I drove to the town library, desperately searching for veterinary jobs. Every evening, I faced my father's disappointed frown when I reported no progress. "Animal clinic jobs aren't exactly plentiful around here," I'd explain. My mother's response was always the same. "And who will watch your children?" "Certainly not us." As winter approached, the isolation became unbearable. When the first major blizzard hit in mid-December, we were truly trapped. December 15th started like any other winter day. The temperature had dropped to 15 below zero, and snow was falling so heavily you couldn't see the stable from the kitchen window. I tucked Sophia and Diego into bed early, reading extra stories to calm their fears about the howling wind. Downstairs, my parents settled into their evening routine. My father dozed in his leather recliner while my mother whereupon by lamplight. I curled up on the window seat with an old veterinary journal. The grandfather clock had just chimed 9 when we heard it, a heavy thud from the front porch. My mother dismissed it immediately. "Just a branch," she said, but something about the sound nagged at me. I peered through the frosted window. What I saw made my blood run cold. A dark shape lay crumpled on our porch, motionless in the swirling snow. "Dad, there's someone out there," I shouted, rushing to the door. The wind nearly ripped the door from my hands as I opened it. There, face down in the snow, was a man in a dark coat. A dark stain was spreading beneath him. Blood. "He's bleeding." I dropped to my knees beside him. The man was in his late 30s, his breathing shallow, his skin dangerously cold. I gently turned him over, spotting the gunshot wound above his left hip. "He's been shot," I called to my father, "and he's hypothermic. Help me get him inside." My father hesitated. "Maya, we don't know who this is." I ignored him, checking the man's pulse. His eyes fluttered open, locking onto mine. "Please," he whispered, "help me." "We should call the sheriff," my father said. "He'll die before anyone gets here." I snapped. "Help me now." We carried the stranger into the kitchen. My mother's reaction was immediate. "Roberto, what are you doing? He could be a criminal." "He's injured, Mom," I shot back, clearing the kitchen table. "Get me towels and the first aid kit." "With the children upstairs. You're endangering us all." "He's half dead," I countered, cutting away his blood-soaked shirt. "The only danger is if we do nothing." I worked methodically, cleaning the wound, applying antiseptic. Items fell from his pockets. A high-tech satellite phone, a metallic card, and a thumb drive on a chain. My father examined the phone suspiciously. "This isn't ranch equipment. Who is this guy?" The stranger grabbed my wrist, his green eyes intense. "They're coming," he whispered. "Don't call anyone. It's not safe." "Who's coming?" I asked, But he'd lost consciousness. My father reached for the landline. "I'm calling Sheriff Martinez." The man stirred, panic flashing across his face. "No authorities. They'll find me. 24 hours. Just give me 24 hours." My mother stepped forward, arms crossed. "Roberto, he's clearly in trouble. Get him out." "We can't send him back into that storm," I said. "He'll die." "That's not our problem," she snapped. The stranger propped himself up. "I'm not a criminal. My name is Alex. I own land nearby. I was ambushed by corporate rivals. Please, just trust me." My father made his decision. He stays until morning. Then he's gone. We moved Alex to the living room. I set up and for drip and monitored his vitals through the night. My mother cornered me in the hallway around midnight. "Have you completely lost your senses? Bringing a gunshot victim into our home. I'm not letting someone die on our porch," I replied. "Your job is to protect your children, not endanger them," she hissed. "This isn't one of your stray animals, Maya. Look where your trusting nature got you with Derek." "This isn't about Derek. It's about basic human decency." Morning brought clearer skies but bitter cold. Alex's condition had stabilized. But my parents had made their decision. "He goes today," my father declared. "The roads will be clear by noon." "He can barely stand," I protested. "His wound could reopen." "We've done enough," my mother said coldly in the kitchen. My parents presented a united front. "He leaves today," my father said. No discussion. "Based on what?" I challenged myself. "Based on your poor judgment," my mother snapped. "You've always chosen strays over family. It's why you're divorced, broke, and living under our roof." The argument escalated. My mother recited every perceived failure, every friendship she'd disapproved of, every act of kindness she'd seen as weakness. "You're 31 years old, divorced, and dependent on us because you never learn," she said. "You put your savior complex above everything else, including your own children." Sophia and Diego appeared, frightened by the shouting. "Why is everyone yelling?" Diego asked. My mother turned on me. "You see, you've upset them. You've put your need to rescue strangers above your duty to your children." Something inside me snapped. "I'm teaching them compassion," I said steadily. "Something you clearly never understood." My mother's ultimatum was final. "Choose, Maya. Him or us. Right now." I stared at her, unable to believe what I was hearing. "You're serious?" "Dead serious." My father confirmed. "You've defied us for the last time." "Fine," I said quietly. "We'll go." My mother's eyebrows shot up. She'd expected me to back down. "You're choosing him over your family." "I'm choosing what's right," I replied. "Something you taught me to do, even if you don't remember it." The next hour was frantic packing. Alex helped despite his pain while my parents watched coldly. As we loaded the car, Sophia asked, "Mommy, where are we going?" "To town, sweetheart," I said, forcing cheer. "We're going to stay in a hotel and have hot chocolate." Diego's lip trembled. "I forgot Rascal," he said, referring to his stuffed raccoon. My heart broke. In my haste, I'd forgotten his most precious possession. The car got stuck halfway down the snowy driveway, with no cell service and dropping temperatures. We were stranded. "There's a property about 3 miles east," Alex said weakly. "It's habitable." We bundled up and set out on foot. I carried Diego when the snow became too deep, while Sophia trudged beside Alex. The cold was merciless, cutting through our clothes like knives. After what felt like hours, we reached Alex's property. I'd expected a rustic cabin. Instead, we found a stunning glass and timber house that looked like something from an architectural magazine. "This is your property?" I asked, stunned. "My Colorado retreat," Alex said, fumbling with the keypad inside. "Were soaring ceilings, floor-to-ceiling windows, and a massive stone fireplace. It was beautiful, warm, and completely unexpected." "I need to know who you really are," I said. He sighed. "Alexander Kane. I'm the founder of Kane Renewable Energy Solutions." The name hit me like a physical blow. Kane Renewable Energy was worth billions. Alexander Kane was one of the most successful clean energy entrepreneurs in the country. The rancher look, not an act. He smiled weakly. "I grew up on a cattle ranch in Wyoming. The energy empire came later." He explained about the ambush, corporate espionage surrounding a new solar technology breakthrough. Someone had tried to steal the prototype, shot him when he resisted, and left him for dead. I couldn't trust local law enforcement. I needed time to contact my private security team. His phone buzzed, and within minutes, he was speaking to his head of security. A team would arrive within 4 hours. That night, after tucking the kids into luxurious guest rooms, I sat with Alex by the massive windows. We talked through the night, sharing stories I'd never told anyone. He spoke about losing his wife to cancer, how success meant nothing without someone to share it with. I told him about Derek's betrayal. "Your parents were wrong," he said as dawn broke. "Compassion isn't weakness. It's the rarest form of strength." Alex's security team arrived at sunrise, professional and surprisingly kind. They praised my medical work and assured me the men who'd shot Alex had been apprehended. The kids were fascinated by the equipment and charmed by Elena, the team leader, who shared her energy bars. Despite his wealth, Alex remained down to earth. When Sophia spilled grape juice on an expensive rug, he just shrugged. "It's just a thing." By the third day, Alex was stronger, and his crisis was resolved. But Alex made an offer that changed everything. "I'm starting a foundation focused on rural veterinary services. I need someone to direct it. Someone who understands both animal care and isolated communities." "Alex, I can't accept charity. It's not charity. It's a job. You're uniquely qualified, but I want you to apply formally. You need to earn it." 2 weeks later, I found myself in a rigorous interview with veterinary executives and foundation board members. When they offered me the position, I knew I'd earned it. But before I could fully embrace this new life, I had to face my parents. I drove to the ranch on a crisp January morning, Alex beside me for moral support. My parents' shock at seeing him was palpable. They'd heard about the billionaire energy mogul involved in corporate espionage, but they hadn't connected him to the wounded stranger they'd thrown out. "I'm not here to gloat," I told them. "I'm here because Sophia and Diego missed their grandparents." My mother's face had gone pale. "We didn't know. You didn't know because you didn't want to know," I interrupted gently. "You saw what you expected to see." My father looked uncertain for perhaps the first time in my life. "Maya, we were trying to protect you." "From what?" "From helping someone who needed it." I shook my head. "I'm willing to rebuild our relationship, but it has to be on equal terms." 6 months later, I stood at the ribbon-cutting ceremony for the first Kane Foundation mobile veterinary clinic. Sophia and Diego beamed with pride as their mom was featured in the newspaper. My parents stood behind them, my father's hand on Diego's shoulder, my mother helping Sophia hold the scissors. Alex had become a constant presence, Not romantic, but something deeper. A friendship built on mutual respect. The clinic was already making a difference, bringing advanced veterinary care to underserved rural communities. My mobile animal emergency unit had become my pride and joy. The truth is, revenge isn't always about getting back at someone. Sometimes the best revenge is proving them wrong by living your best life. My parents thought my compassion would be my downfall, but it became my salvation. They called me to soft, to trusting, to willing to help strangers. They were right about one thing. I am all of those things, but they were wrong about it being a weakness. Have you ever helped someone despite everyone telling you not to? Share your story in the comments below. If this resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more tales of unexpected triumph. Thank you for listening. And remember, sometimes the people we save end up saving us right back.